It is. Hello, everybody. And thank you so much for listening to this episode of Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends. And I'm so excited today because we have a special guest. This is part of our interview series. And would you like to introduce yourselves? It's Sir.
Sure. My name is Joel Adam Chavez, and I am here to talk about some things I do in the mystic world, and I'm excited to do that.
That sounds really witchy, and
John's afraid of witches, Joel, and
I don't want to offend Joel, so you don't get to say, Sadie, what I'm afraid of and what I'm not afraid of. Let me explain to Joel so he understands. I feel like sometimes, like a Ouija board, for instance, if you play with a Ouija board, I feel like that there's the potential that you open some sort of crazy portal that I don't want opened.
We can do that later if you would like.
Put that damn thing away, Joel. For people that aren't watching and just listening, Joel just pulled out a Ouija board. Anyway, I'm being honest and saying that I am somewhat afraid of opening some sort of weird. My life is pretty normal right now. Like there's no shit messing with me, and so I don't want shit messing with me.
Yeah. So do we have to say something before, like don't haunt us, or like this door is shut, or something? I don't know. Is it not that dramatic?
It's not quite that dramatic. A lot of the times it's not the way you see it in the movies. They do things, they add a lot of fluff in movies and TV shows, and there are certain things you can do and say to trigger something bad or something good to happen. But if you don't open those doors, it's you're in a pretty safe space.
And we promise that we're not going to open those doors today.
I will not open any doors today unless I'm asked to.
All right, you can open them on Sadie if you want.
I would also like the no door policy. Thank you for putting requests in.
All doors are closed.
I have to say before we get started, Joel, you have the gift of, tell us what your gifts include, because I know some people who see the future and some people who see dead people, and some like what lands in your stratosphere.
Sure. Okay. Well, this started out when I was quite young. I am actually the youngest of 11 children, and so yeah, 5 older brothers and 5 older sisters.
Oh my goodness!
When we were growing up, needless to say, I was a little spoiled, but I also did get picked on by my older siblings, and there were things that I the whole time I was growing up just thought were normal things that I would see happen, and then they would happen. And I started to tell as I got older, I started to tell my siblings about that, and they thought it was bizarre, and I would freak them out, and I couldn't do it on command, but it was a thing that I couldn't ever explain, and nobody really could. We didn't tell my parents about it.
So what types of things would you see, Joel? What would you see?
There were things. One of the things that was the most significant was I was very young. My parents got divorced when I was pretty young. I was only 7, somewhat young. And before they divorced, we got into a car accident. It was me and 2 sisters and 1 brother, and my mom was driving. And I saw it happen about a week prior. That I remembered sitting. I was the 80s. I was sitting in the front seat on a lap.
Right.
And I remember being in the car and hitting my head on the dashboard, and seeing a man behind us laughing. And about a week later, that happened.
And there was a man laughing at you?
In the car. He was either drunk or on drugs or something.
Oh my gosh.
And so I remembered seeing that, and that was one I didn't tell anybody about because I was a little scared of it.
Big mistake. Your mom probably needed to know.
I mean, I bet when you see accidents happen in the future, you tell people now.
That's one of the things is it's sometimes people don't want to know, but if it, it doesn't happen all the time. I'm not one of those people that walks
Yeah.
around and says, this is happening. This, I don't do that. I can't do that. What I am able to see are things that just come to me. And sometimes I don't know if it's just my imagination. I just don't know. And what I have learned to do over the years is over the past 20 years, in fact, is how to open my own doors and windows to see these things and particular people, like certain people. So if I'm talking to either one of you and you wanted to see something, and it's actually it goes both ways, because you can talk about or all three ways, I should say, because it could be the future, the past, or the present.
Oh,
And
Can I ask a question real fast? Like if for instance, if we go back 20 years to this car wreck and you saw it happening and you knew that it was going to happen in a week or so, can you change the course of history and prevent it from happening?
that I don't think I can do. I'm not that,
But I mean, that's essentially what would happen if you would have said, Mom, we can't go to the store because we're going to get in a car accident.
right.
I mean, then you would essentially be changing the future.
I know it sounds simple, but that would mean, if I were to say that, since I don't know when it's going to happen, it would mean Mom could never drive.
Yeah, you're
This isn't going
right.
to happen. Or if a safe lands on somebody's head from a building, they would have to never walk down the street. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So
so you can't
Right.
see like
hopefully
specific
people aren't
time.
dropping safes out of windows, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
I did see the other day that they're dropping cans. I think it's in Portland. Somebody's dropping canned food out of the apartment buildings, high rises in Portland,
that would
and
kill
they're
someone.
pelting people. Yeah.
People
And
would
so
die.
did you see that one
I
coming?
haven't seen any of that. No.
Okay. Well, shit.
Joel, did you have visions of a man throwing cans from some sort of apartment?
The craziest part, they
not
can't
yet.
figure out which apartment it's coming from. So this dude just keeps pelting people with like peaches.
Until just now, that has never come into my head. So
Okay, so who's the psychic now? I think it's Shawn.
Do you call yourself a psychic, by the way? We didn't give you a proper introduction because Sadie let you
I
introduce
know-
yourself and you didn't know what to
Yes.
say. Are you a psychic? Are you a medium? What are you?
I don't call myself a psychic. I think that's a corny term. And I use the term corny loosely because that tends to offend people, but I don't use the term psychic. I feel like that's something that, again, has come through in like movies and TV shows. Medium is a word that people use. That's more to talk to the dead, or that's not something that I really do. There have been times where I felt I've gotten messages from people's dead
People.
relatives or friends, but it's very rare. And so I don't call myself a medium. I feel like that's a little like I don't deserve that title kind of thing. But I don't really have a title. I don't market myself anyway. I just say, like I said when
This
I
is
came
something
in,
I can do. Yeah, I mean,
I'm a mystic dude.
you are like the chick from Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, only with
You're not as hot.
How dare you say that to
hey,
male Stevie Nicks?
I think that Joel is a good looking dude, but I Stevie Nicks is my crush, and so I just got to be real.
Okay, so Joel, back to what we're here for.
Not to insult you for your great looks.
No, so you read tarot cards as well.
I do read tarot cards. So people have also used the term fortune teller. I don't even really like to use that because if I were to be able to sit down and word for word tell you what's going to happen in the future, that would be one thing. I can't really do that. I can, and this is something that you'll see on those like what do you call it, mentalist TV shows and stuff, where they say certain words and try to get you to say it. And then they go, "Oh, I predicted it." There's a little bit to that, but it's not as fake as it seems on those shows. So if I were to say, let's say we wanted to talk to one of your dead grandparents or something, okay?
I would love that.
And if we were to do that, and And I would ask for no information up front. I would try to get to feel the information first, even something as simple as a name. So when that starts to come to me, that's when other things can come into my open door as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, and so
That seems much more legit than those people that, like,
Yeah,
because
they're like,
I see the letter L. Well,
yeah.
I had a dog named Lily when I was 4. Well, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. I don't do that.
Now give me your money.
Exactly.
Is this your only business, by the way, Joel? Do you do something else?
I do. So this is what I do. Actually, I've been doing this for a long time. Like I said, about 20 years. And I don't really, I'm not one for, if people want to donate things to me, I allow that. But I don't ever ask for compensation. When COVID hit and everyone was in their homes, I started to research quite a lot and how to do this remotely, because I've only ever done it up until then in person. And so when
Yeah, that's weird, because if you don't do it remotely, do you get the same vibes if you're not sitting in the same area?
that's what's interesting, is it's very different. And I actually had to learn and kind of teach myself and even invent some new techniques on how to do this, like over Zoom,
Wow.
over the phone.
So you could do us today. Do you want to
Nobody's
do
doing
that?
anybody, Sadie.
Oh, people are doing people.
There are things I was going to talk about that and see what you guys were comfortable with. For those listening, we have never talked before, so this is the first time we've ever met and seen each other. But I do have my tarot cards here with me, and what I was going to do. So a normal tarot reading can take anywhere from 20 to 70 minutes, but I just wanted to do maybe there are some short ones that we can do with only 3 cards that we could talk about, and maybe it's not even really a future prediction. It's just kind of.
Yes, I want to do this on Sadie, but hold on, I have questions before we do it.
Okay, why are you
this
such
goes
a
back.
chicken? Are you not doing it at all?
No, I'm not. I'm the spectator today, but I'm the mediator. He's mystic, I'm mediator. But I want to talk, because this kind of goes back, and we're going to be open and honest. Joel, we talked about that, and so I have questions, and my questions are like, I love how you don't kind of cheat by asking questions, but how do the cards know where to land? It almost feels like a game of blackjack. It's just a thing. To me, it feels like luck.
How does that work,
luck.
Joel?
So that is something that a lot of people have a hard time understanding, and I'll explain it. It takes a lot to learn, but I'll explain it as briefly as I can.
Okay.
You remember the thing I said before about finding the letter L, and it's someone you knew. What the cards can do is they can trigger a thought or a memory in the person who's getting a reading. If I put down a card and I say, well, this card tends to mean this and this, someone can usually go, oh, well, I did lose my job, or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's less of a psychic reading and more of a what people need to realize themselves. Does that make sense? I know that sounds a little hokey and fake, but that's kind of how it works. And obviously everybody anticipates something in life, and there are things that you can feel coming up or know that are going to happen. And it's not necessarily, as like I said, as much of a psychic reading as it is a comfort thing, or just a way to make people realize something for themselves.
Yeah.
I already said that, but
that seems pretty harmless, Shawn. I mean, that seems pretty harmless.
We do
30-minute
episodes, and we're 14 minutes in, so we have 16 minutes.
Okay.
I bet there's not time for me, Sadie, unfortunately.
Oh,
You're gonna have to be
Joel,
the guinea
could you
pig
fit
today.
2 people in?
He doesn't know yet. He can't tell the future,
Okay,
but
Joel,
he's going to do yours,
I'll
and we'll
go
see how much
first.
time's left.
Hey, Joel, how about we do this? Could you go back and forth between the 2 of us, like do a little bit of info for me and then for him, and then we'll see if.
Well, here's what we'll do. I will start with you, Sadie, and I know.
Oh my God, I'm nervous.
I will start with you, and we'll keep it simple, and I think we'll be able to reel Shawn in. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I'm so scared. Do you get a lot of scared people who are like, I'm scared, I don't know if I want to know?
I do get people that are nervous, and what I do is I just tell them, look, if this is not something to scare you, pardon me, or make you nervous or anything like that. This is something to help you. And if
Okay.
you're not willing to be helped, then this is not for you.
Yeah,
Um,
you're so
or
right.
it's not even a matter of being helped. It's a matter of just gathering information.
Yeah, being
So,
aware. Okay.
mhm.
That makes sense.
I'm ready, guys.
Joel, do you have to get in like a headspace? Do you need Sadie to shut the hell up so you can?
Joel, can I talk to you while you do your cards? No. Joel, we'll give you a moment here.
Okay, so
Like, focus up. Make sure you don't get shit wrong, okay? Because I get scared.
Well, if it's wrong, the good news with this is if it's wrong, like it's not going to happen anyways, right, Joel? There's
that's
no
true.
harm, no foul.
Yeah, but I'll forever wonder when is that tumor going to show up? Okay, Joel. Woo, I got to get done. Let's do it. I'm nervous, but I'm going to do it.
all right. I'm just shuffling my cards here. Let me okay, we're gonna figure out some things. Now, what I do, and I don't
Shawn, sorry to interrupt you, Joel.
Sure.
Can you do Shawn, Joel, and I on the screen? Maybe it would help him kind of like focus more.
I don't know how to operate this program.
Okay, sorry, Joel. That's just the budget we got.
No problem. That's totally fine.
That would have been cool though, huh? We'll just pretend. Shawn, can you bend down so we can't see? You did it!
Oh, there we
Okay.
go. Look at that.
Okay, here we go.
All right. So I'm just going to give you a quick couple things here. Now, what I would do on a 3-card reading
Mhm.
is
What's a 3-card reading? Just
three
picking
card
3
reading
cards?
is just a short, simple version,
Got it.
and the 3 cards are there to represent past, present, and future. And so I've got my cards here shuffled, and I'm going to just put a couple down here. All right.
Is it anything bad? Is it bad?
Well, I don't flip them all over at once. I do them one at a time.
Okay.
And we always start with the past. So what I'm going to ask you to do, this is something that's one of the remote things, is just take one really big deep breath.
Shawn, do this too, okay? Because you're next.
That's how you open the door. You just opened it.
No, you don't. Get out of our
opening-
frame, Shawn.
It's less about opening a door and more just about being calm
Knowledge.
and not pre-thinking anything.
Okay. I'm ready.
You want to open your thoughts so that if I say something, it'll automatically trigger something. Okay.
Got it.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. Well, your first card is actually my favorite card. It's I'm going to hold it up and show you. So this is the sun. Okay. And
Aww. Yay.
sun is just it's a very hold it up for you. It's a very joyous card, and it can mean a lot of things. It can mean you've led happy life. You've had things go on that are. It doesn't come up often that the sun is in the past.
Oh shit, that's not good, Joel.
No, it's not that that's a bad thing. It means that most people have a lot of trauma, and so I don't know anything about you.
Okay. And let me just explain. My friend Becky, Rebecca. We are mutual friends.
Yes, Rebecca.
Well, Joel is so Becky reached out to me and said, you have to interview my friend Joel. And so that's all we really know about each other. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, Rebecca is, or Becky to you, I call her Rebecca. I've actually had a couple of readings with her, and she's been blown away by it. So what I'll say,
well, I think this is a good start with the sun. Now, what's next? The present.
Pardon me. I'm so sorry. Okay. Let's see. Wow. Okay. So your present is the magician. Another one of my favorite cards. The magician is, it's just what it sounds. The magician makes things happen. The magician
Ooh.
is able to
Start
I
a podcast after losing her, not
start a
losing,
podcast, but
leaving her job.
it can also be quite joyous. It can also be something where you bring joy to people, or at least stop, you know, trauma
Pain?
and
Oh my gosh.
misery and things like that.
I love this. This is so fun. Okay. So that's good. Now what's in my future, Joel?
All right. In your future, I have the Page of Wands. That could mean a lot of things.
Okay.
And what I
Page
do,
of Wands, like a
Page of Wands.
wand. Okay.
Mhm.
Got it.
So, just a real brief description of the tarot deck. There are 78 cards, where
Yeah.
we all know how a regular playing card deck works. There's the ace through the king, right? The tarot deck does have numbered cards of different, suits.
Sure. Yeah.
There's the wands, the pentacles, the cups, and the swords. Okay. And Page of Wands he's a little, if you look here,
Yeah.
kind of looks, he's a little, not anxious. What's the word? Eager, I would say. But he's
Oh.
also a little naive. Okay. He's ready to go. He's dressed and he's ready to go. He's got his hat and his cape and he's ready to go on a journey. But he's confused. He's looking up as opposed to out.
Like,
Uh,
where do I go? What do I do? Like that kind
correct.
of thing, Joel? Oh.
Yeah.
And
So
that's in my future?
yes. So let's look at this. Okay. So we have the sun in the past. So I don't know much about you. I'm going to assume that you have a family.
Yes.
Um, you're married and have children, things like that.
I'm married and I have 3 children.
Okay. Um, let's see here.
Uh-oh, that was a scary
No, I'm
sigh.
just trying to open myself up here. Okay. I mean, I'm getting this doesn't usually happen remotely, but I do have some vibes coming actually from both of you. I
Shawn,
feel
get back on the screen.
here's what's going on. I'm going to tell you what's going on right now. I'm getting some vibes from you, Sadie, because you're really feeding to me. But I also think that I'm getting things from Shawn because he's trying to stop it. So, which does happen. It does happen.
It's
Okay.
like you get louder. It gets louder the more you try to block it.
It's kind of like if you close a door on a dog and it barks louder and scratches more at the door,
Yeah.
and it's more obnoxious.
Shit, sorry, Shawn.
Sorry for being obnoxious.
That's
I really
okay.
try not to.
Not you. It's not you.
It's your spirit.
Let's see. Okay, I do see some Sadie with you. I do feel some recent loss. Is there a recent loss that happened? Did you have someone pass away recently?
A recent
She kills a
loss.
lot of pets.
I do not, Joel.
Did you lose a pet recently?
I did. I did lose a Chihuahua, and his name was Oliver. Oliver Reginald III is what we called him,
Okay.
and he was super cool. And I'm pretty fucking sure a bird ate him because one day he was in the backyard and then swooped down.
That was fairly recently.
It was pretty recently, yeah.
Okay. Did you have someone maybe?
My grandmother died, but that was not recently.
Did someone maybe move away or move out of the house?
Oh my God, Sophie moved out. So yes, I kind of have had a loss, which is why I got a rabbit.
Okay.
Because I'm
Yeah,
trying to fill that sadness with a rabbit. But that totally makes sense because yeah, Sophie left.
It is kind of a thing. Okay, so Sophie, I assume, is your daughter,
Yeah.
and you've had
She
a
left because I beat her. Just kidding. I never do that. She left for college.
if I see the joy in the son of Sophie, and you kind of buying this rabbit to help you, I see it, kind of fill in those gaps. First child to move away, I assume.
Yeah. First
Okay.
one.
And
I'm still waiting for one of my assholes.
I
to
know.
move
I
away.
need Joel. I don't want to pause you, but I need Shawn to get a little bit of info too. Can you switch your thinking?
No,
Unless,
he gets the vibes from the person. He gets the vibes from
well,
Sadie.
then take me off, and Joel will take over. I
Well,
know
I
what you're doing, Shawn. You're trying to run the clock out with me, and then you're gonna be like, "Ooh, too late."
Before I finish with you, Sadie, I wanted to ask. I
Okay.
don't usually get a name, but I'm getting the name Chief.
Oh, that's my dog that died like a few months ago.
Yes.
Really? Okay. He's scratching at the door. I wanted to ask if that was your rabbit's name.
No, my
I
rabbit's
don't
name
usually
is
get a
Ziggy Star.
name like that, but every once in a while it will really come through. So that's rather interesting. See, you can't, I don't
You
know.
can't
And that
stop
was
it
like
if it's
just
coming.
that's like fresh.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Shawn. You love that dog.
All right.
When you said Chief, I automatically thought of Eric Church, and I'm like, am I gonna talk to him or something? But no, it was your dog.
Well, let me
Are you
ask.
sad, Shawn? Are you crying?
That's sad. No, I'm not crying, but I'm sad. I miss old Chiefy.
Let me
Next.
ask you this, but Shawn has to be okay with it.
Okay.
Could we do a little mini reading on Shawn? Do we have time for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not like 30 minutes. The video shuts off.
It's not like drop dead 30
No.
minutes. Let me, because normally if I were to do a podcast, I would listen to it ahead of time, but I did not listen to yours. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I sent a link, but you're busy. No, I'm teasing.
All right. I am going to reshuffle here.
I don't think I've ever talked about Chief on the podcast anyway. So
that's really weird.
I just kept seeing it. I don't know. It wouldn't stop. Sometimes those things just knock on the door and do not stop. And that's why I had to say it. It just kept coming
Getting
through.
louder and louder.
I'm shuffling as quick as I can because I want to do this.
fine.
Yeah, take your time so you get a good feeling. We want a good reading for Shawn because he's scared. Even though I feel like mine was pretty solid. I mean, I'm confused and unsure, but I'm like the sun.
That means your brightest days are behind you. Sorry, Sadie.
No, Psychic Joel said that's wrong.
He doesn't like that term. Mystic Joel.
All right, Shawn. I got some cards here for you. Okay, we're gonna lay these out. All right. I'm gonna start
Shawn,
with
I'm sorry, Joel.
That's
Shawn,
okay.
you have to half screen so we could see your reaction.
All right. Well,
Don't be hiding. Don't be hiding. And you could watch full episodes like this one on our YouTube channel or Facebook page. So you can see Mystic Joel. Okay.
Mystic Joel. I might hang on to that. I kind of like it. I've never used that term, but hey.
Perfect.
All right. Shawn. Oh no. Okay, so your first card.
Shawn, get your face in there.
Your past card is the Fool. Now, the Fool doesn't mean you're a fool, okay? It can be very misleading, okay? The Fool can do foolish things. However, if you look at the Fool here, he's stepping out into the unknown and looking away. So he just has a lot to learn. It's very similar to actually the Page of Wands, okay? Were you a naive child? Did you learn? I mean, did you struggle with a childhood at all, or
No, I made a lot of dumb decisions.
I mean, didn't we all?
Yeah, for sure. My childhood was fine, but yeah, I was not.
Well, I mean,
like
you had other stuff,
Yeah.
Like you were confused by your sexuality.
All right. Okay, your present card. Well, now this is very curious because your present card is
Is that man sitting in a bed crying?
It's the Nine of Swords, which is kind of a it's a card of loss, it's a card of sadness. So maybe even just now talking about your dog, that could have been something that happened.
Oh yeah.
That also could have been when I was feeling that loss of your daughter, Sadie. It all could have been tied
It could have been mashed together, like his dog dying and my daughter moving out. Yeah,
it's weird how it works. We're doing this kind of fast.
For sure.
I see a healthy family with you, though. Is that right?
That is right.
You've got 3 or 4 kids, I would imagine.
Yeah, 3 of them.
Living healthy parents.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I keep getting, sometimes it's like pops and cracks and they just keep coming through. And I like every once, it's usually there. This is how I see it. It sounds bizarre, but there's like little blinks of light and every once in a while there'll be something in it. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. I'm getting a lot from Shawn here.
Jeez. And it's really, you're saying it's because he doesn't want to do it, so he's trying to shut himself off, which is making it louder for you.
Yeah, the 9 of Swords can also be some sort of transformation, maybe. Transformation.
That's sex change.
It's usually a transformation of yourself, but it could also be a transformation of your job or moving or something like that. Is there anything like that going on right now?
It's going on. Well, 2 years ago, I made a pretty big career change.
But nothing currently at the present time?
What about this podcast, Shawn? This is pretty current.
Well, that's true. But that's not a career change. I continue doing all of my normal stuff. Sadie's the one that left her dang job and started this podcast. I continue doing my job and did this on the side to appease
Mystic Joel knows about this. We don't need to rehash. It's about you now.
Is there something, and please don't answer any questions you're not comfortable with, but is there something with your health specifically or your body specifically that you're thinking of changing or trying to change or trying to make better about yourself? I mean, not even better, but something that you're just
for sure better. Yeah, I was getting a little chunky, so been trying to work on the physique and make it better. And I take a lot of weird diet pills that
I was gonna say I feel like it's a risky thing. Not risky, but it could be risky, as in you're not just exercising and eating better, but you're experimenting
taking pills. I've told him before he's on a road to danger. Just
I haven't taken
Channing Tatum abs.
There's these pills that they mine out of the Himalaya mountains, and I'm not too sure about taking them, so they're just sitting in my cupboard.
So what do you think, Joel? Can you see
one more card? I have a future card. I'm gonna draw the last card. Oh my god. Okay.
Sorry that Sadie doesn't shut up.
Don't let this card scare you, please. Your future card is the devil. Okay. Now, the look of it might be scary, but it isn't necessarily evil or anything, because what it can mean is a lot of things. The devil can represent something that's bad coming up, but if you look at the picture, they have the freedom to undo the chain and walk away. So that can just be a warning to beware of danger. Okay. This is a very misleading card because people see the devil and go, oh, there's a death card too. It doesn't mean death. It means opening new doors to things similar to your rabbit with Sophie.
Okay, that's not bad, Shawn.
This is not a terrible reading, Shawn. This is actually quite.
Shawn, you look like you're crying. Are you crying?
No, I'm not crying.
I may have scared him with this devil stuff. I don't know. I do want to say we did not open any unwanted doors today, so don't be afraid of that. I have this thing that I say. If can we do a thing where like you repeat after me? Are you guys comfortable with that?
Okay.
So what I do is when I want to kind of close off, it's similar to how the massage therapist like runs their fingers down your whole body.
Happy ending.
That too, but not this time. There's this saying, mantra plus yantra equals tantra. And so that's a thing that I like to just always keep in mind. I'm not going to fully explain that right now because I know we're running out of time.
No, don't worry about time.
But
I want to know more about Shawn's devil card.
I'm trying to think what else that could mean.
Like, there's nothing health-wise wrong with Shawn.
No, not at all. There's nothing health-wise. There's nothing I think that Shawn needs to be afraid of or worried about. I just think that he needs to take caution when trying new things.
Been saying that.
I mean, we all do. This
Yeah.
is one of those things where it's like it's very loosely, you pick up on stuff.
I'm picking up on something right now, and I think that it's me being cautious about Sadie's. She's a bad influence, and she's got me roped into this podcast, and so I think that that's what that card means.
You know what, Shawn? But you're meant to be here. Can you see if he's meant to be here, or if we're just spinning our wheels here, Joel? You got a card for that?
I will say this: I do pick up very good vibes off of both of you, especially your chemistry together. I feel like you've known each other for a long time. You say the podcast is new, but I feel like you guys have been working together for a long time. Is that true?
In the past, yeah.
Yep,
we did for a while.
How new is the podcast? How long have you been doing it?
It's like 3 months now.
Yeah, we do. So we do 5 episodes a week, and we're at 80 something episodes now. So
you do 5 a week. That's a lot.
I know. We're dedicated.
But I see you working together for a while in a similar field. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
That is correct.
Yeah, that is right.
We used to do radio together.
No, okay. Well, no kidding. There you go. I kind of felt I felt musical vibes, and when I usually get musical vibes, it's usually like some kind of vibrating rhythm. I know that sounds well, we won't talk about that, but I will get a vibrating rhythm sometimes, and that usually means music. I don't know if either of you are musicians or have music in your life, but I'm getting that vibe off of.
Well, Shawn, you totally have. I mean, that's easy to know.
Well,
Shawn,
yeah.
I mean, Joel might not know, but Shawn does an afternoon show on a really big country station in Denver.
Okay.
And so he's always talking to artists and interviewing them, and then coming back, telling us all about it.
Okay.
Well, and we work together. Sadie and I work together on a country music radio station.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Great. All right. Perfect. Are either of you?
Maybe you've heard of it.
Are either of you musicians, or do you perform?
I mean, I pretend that I'm a musician. I have a band.
Oh my God! How did I forget your band?
Wait,
Joel.
You have a band, but you pretend you're a musician?
Basically, yeah. It's a whole thing. It's a play.
It is like a performance artist piece.
Maybe that's why I'm getting like it's not like super clear. A lot of times with musicians, it's like they're a guitar player or they're a pianist, or a singer. This time I'm just getting, I don't know, you're just kind of like dancing. You're not, are you a dancer?
I mean, I dance really funny on stage as part of my performance.
It's beautiful to see.
That's really part of the performance.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
I mean, not well. There's nothing that I do on stage that's good.
I've
I
never
do it all.
Okay, I've never picked up a vibe like that before, so maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
By the way, it's penist.
Absolutely. Speaking of pulsating vibrations, okay. Let's see. I want to round this out. I don't really clearly see any more names or anything like that. Yeah, I'm not getting anything else super, super clear. And like that name Chief, though. And what's funny is when I said it, it went away. So
wow.
I don't know. That was a bizarre thing. But I think that's, yeah, I think we're, you talked about your grandmother. I was trying to open up and see something with her, but
she's not interested in talking to me. I get it.
No, I didn't see much. So, anyway.
So, Joel, what if I said, like, I want to talk to my grandma? Could you make that happen, or is that something that's not your fancy?
I can try sometimes. Do you happen to know her birthday?
This is why she doesn't want to visit me from the afterlife.
It's
in November. It is in November. Does that help? Really? November. Oh, I'm the worst granddaughter.
I'm getting vibes of turkey right now and pumpkin pie.
That's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's in November too.
Stop it, Shawn. He's doing a reading about my grandma. Go ahead, Psychic Joel or Mystic Joel.
I don't know. That would put her at either a Scorpio or Sagittarius. I mean, that could mean anything. Astrology is not something I generally lean into. I know about it, but and this is where real psychics tend to not like me, or real psychics, as I want to put in quotation marks, because astrology to me is not really my field. I am more of that's just, how it is.
Oh, so are you trying to lighten the blow that grandma doesn't want to talk? And that's fine.
No, it's not that.
What he's saying is he can't force it. He's not going to make some dumb shit
No,
up.
I don't want you to make
tell you,
anything
yeah.
up.
And
It's
so
okay if she doesn't want to talk. I like to think she's in paradise and not thinking about me.
But she did pass away a while ago, right? It's not fairly
Yeah,
recent.
it was a long time ago.
Okay.
Shawn and I Shawn, I don't want to speak out of turn. Shawn and I were both very close to our grandmothers. It was like best friend.
Okay.
We kind of have that in common in a weird way.
I mean, I feel like I see I see the name Bob. Was that either of your grandfather's names, Bob or Bobby, like Roberta?
Robert?
Bobby or Bonnie?
Bonnie! Oh my God, shut up. That's my
Bonnie?
grandma. That's my grandma.
she's talking
Stop
to
it,
you.
I'm gonna
Sadie.
cry.
She's
She
talking
is.
to you.
Oh, that
Bonnie
is so
and Chief are hanging out, just like
sweet.
Bonnie and
Bonnie
Clyde.
Chief may be hanging.
Is she saying anything or?
I don't get much.
Deep, Joel, deeper. Sorry to get upset.
She does want you to be careful. Watch out for future endeavors. It's always a thing like that. That's always something that people are saying to be careful of. Watch out for this.
Future endeavors, that could mean anything.
I know.
Sadie doesn't have any endeavors. This is her only endeavor. So
is this the endeavor? Shit. I'm gonna have to return this sign.
I feel like she's proud of what you're doing. She's glad that maybe not glad, but she's okay, and she's proud of you for making the decision to end your last career and start this one.
And she was a no bullshitter, so I feel like she's being honest if she's saying that stuff. Because honestly, I could see her from the other side. She was the kind of woman that would be like, "This shit sucks. You're a dumbass. You left a job with health insurance to do this dumbass podcast." I did, Grandma. Tell her I love her, please.
I do have sometimes a way I can open up and speak to people, but it's really hard. If you're here, Bonnie, she does love you. I think you know that already.
Shawn, tell your grandma you love her.
My grandma's not speaking to him right now.
I didn't see anything from your grandma.
Yeah, that's all right. She's kind of like me. She's hiding.
I do keep getting Bob though, and I sometimes with the Bonnie, like if I get a name that's Bonnie and the first name I see will go away, but Bob is still coming through.
I have an Uncle Bob. Does that count?
I don't know.
I think everybody has an Uncle Bob though. Somewhere.
Bob's your uncle. I don't have any Bobs. So I don't know any Bobs.
Are either of you Bob Marley fans?
We both love Bob Marley.
I mean, everybody kind of loves Bob Marley, so that's an easy one. But
oh my God, Shawn is a huge Bob Marley fan.
If Bob Marley's trying to talk to me right now, I will sit here and I'll listen all day.
Can you try? And that's another thing. Can you try to reach people like, "Hey, Bob Marley, talk to me. What's going on?" Or it's just probably not that easy.
It's not that easy. I mean,
the line for Bob Marley is probably pretty long.
The people that are contacted have to want to be contacted. Yeah. So, in other words, if your grandmother had a message for you, she would be an easy person to contact. That's kind of why it's a little fuzzy. So it's not that she doesn't want to talk to you. It's just that she doesn't really have anything
to say to you, Shawn. I'm sorry.
I mean, either one of you. Because I even after getting her name, I didn't really get much from yours, Sadie. So
It is what
Um,
it is. But you've touched on so many things that I'm like, oh,
I didn't
especially,
hold on, because we gotta wrap up in a second. But
yeah.
I am curious as to why Bob Marley came to mind of all the Bobs in the world. Why Bob Marley?
don't know. I saw his face, and I kind of saw that green, yellow, red background. It just
I guess
popped
I
in my
would think of that with Bob. If I saw like Jamaican colors, I'd be like, Bob Marley.
I don't know. And normally sometimes stuff like that I kind of just pass over, but sometimes if it's a real distinct thing, it'll stay there and I can't not pay attention to it. So
Yeah.
All
Is
right,
that
well,
all you're getting first, Joel?
that might be all I'm getting for now. I'm sitting here and I'm just kind of shuffling my deck a little bit because sometimes just your fingers running through it will help.
do you want me to sing Bob Marley songs while you're doing it?
Maybe later,
He
buddy.
knows all of them. One love.
No one wanted you to sing Bob Marley songs, Sadie.
I wanted to sing them, so piss off. And my grandma probably wanted me too. She probably wanted to hear my angel voice. She probably said, hang on, Joel, Mystic Joel. She probably said, your voice is better than most angels up here. Go ahead, Joel. What you got?
I'm wondering if the Bob Marley came through just because if you guys have both worked in the country field and country music, Bob is so not that. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I just think it's because Shawn is a mega fan. I mean, would you
Maybe
say
Bob Marley's my grandpa.
that? I see it.
He did have a lot of babies.
You
There's
never
a
know.
chance. I mean, I look like him. Look at me.
Great
Look at
stuff.
me and tell me I don't look like Bob Marley.
I thought for a minute you were Bob Marley. I continue to look over and think, Bob? Okay, this is
Is
getting off track.
reincarnation a thing? Maybe I'm
Oh,
Bob
yeah,
Marley reincarnated.
Joe, what are your thoughts on reincarnation?
Reincarnation is one of those things along the lines of astrology or astral projection where I say it's fun to think about. I can't answer those questions. I don't know if it's real. I feel like there's a chance that it could be, but there's absolutely no proof of it or anything that's definite. So it's hard to sit here and say, well, that that 7-year-old kid used to be an 80-year-old woman kind of thing. But there are some very convincing things out there where these children wake up in Germany and are able to speak perfect English and nobody knows why. Stuff like that.
So how do you explain?
I don't know.
Some
That's
things
why
are
I just say it's fun
unexplained.
to think about. Yeah.
For sure.
Some things you can't explain.
Hey Joel, we got to wrap up, but before we go, I want to make sure that people are going to listen to this and they're going to watch this and they're going to hit us up and they're going to be like, how do I get in contact with Joel? So why don't you tell us that you don't want our people contacting you because they're like us?
Because our mutual friend Rebecca, she was telling me that it's not like you really go around and like make this a big thing, and it's just kind of something that you can do.
Yeah, I tend not to because I definitely don't call myself a professional. Like I said, I don't even call myself a psychic. So I just it has to happen per chance almost. I was even a little apprehensive to do this, but
you got some stuff that was shocking.
Yeah. So
really,
and when I was when it was COVID time, I did kind of feel like maybe I need to start opening up a little bit more, and that's why I studied it more and kept up on it. I do not have a website or social media or anything. So if people do want to talk to me, is it okay if they contact you and you can contact me?
Yeah, we'll give them your email address.
Perfect.
That way I also avoid bad things.
Don't be opening up them doors.
You don't want to open up those. Thank you so much for coming on and explaining what you do and explain. Shawn, can I ask you really quick, what are your thoughts? I know that you are very apprehensive.
The chief thing is crazy.
That is crazy. There were a couple things. The Bob Marley thing. I was thinking of my Uncle Bob, and that's your
Plus,
favorite.
I just like Joel's vibe. Like I feel like Joel, you popped. We didn't tell you this, but you were our first guest ever. It's always just been Sadie and I. We've never had a guest on the show. So you popped our guest cherry, and we were a little bit nervous about because we're uncensored. We claim that we're two normal people that just get together and have a chat for half an hour every day. And when you add a third dynamic, you never know how it's gonna mix and how it's gonna mesh. And you're just one of us too, dude. So you're invited anytime.
Well, great. I appreciate that. If either of you, you're both in Colorado, is that correct?
Yes.
If either of you ever want to sit down, have a beer or a cup of coffee and talk some more, I would be very open to doing that.
That would be
Nice.
awesome. Well, thank you for coming on, Joel. This was awesome.
Thank you, Joel. We
You're
sure
welcome.
appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Now we
All
can
right.
probably you can hang up, Joel, because we got to do something. It's called an endorsement.
Oh yeah, you don't want to be associated.
You don't
with
want to
ours.
be. You don't want to be a part of these because they.
Sadie won't pay you. She barely pays me.
Oh my God! For what you do, you're making like a cash cow. Thank you, Joel. For
Joel,
your
thank you,
honesty.
buddy. We'll see you soon.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Oops,
did you just
I
hang
cut him
up
off
on me?
early.
Well, great. Now who's gonna get a spell put on them?
He doesn't
You.
know who pushed the button.
What did you think? Like now it's just us talking really quick. What did you think about
We'll
that?
recap tomorrow. I have to pee real bad, and I'm not
Okay.
even exaggerating.
Okay. Thanks to our friends at Tallent Co Real Estate. This is where you're going to go when you want to get just that hometown service. I mean, no matter whether you're looking at buying or selling, right now, it is a weird time in real estate. And so you want to know you're with somebody that you could trust. That's our friend Amy, the owner of Tallent Co Real Estate. Be sure to look her up, homeinnoco.com. Shawn, go pee.
I'm getting vibes that you need to buy a house from Amy. All right, I'm off to the Mystic. And by Mystic, I mean mist that's probably going to splash off the urinal back onto my leg.